Hello, folks, and we're now back here for another race around Japan in Tier 2. And today I'm joined by my co-commentators, Anarus Acid and Eccentric. And of course, so first of all, guys, what are your expectations for today's race? Do you think it's like so? Last time in Japan, I think it was quite chaotic in Tier 2, and we have a nearly full grid this time around. I think that last time we had a grid of 11, but today I think we have a nearly grid of 16. So, what do you guys think? Do you gonna think we're gonna see close battles, or do you think it's gonna be absolute carnage tonight?
I want to see some good battles and some clean racing, but a small part of me wants some carnage as well. So, yeah.
I agree with that. I think we're going to have some good racing and hopefully a little bit less carnage, but let's see. I feel like this is going to be a spicy race.
Yep. Crucially, the race winner from last season week in Baku is not taking part. That is Satvik. So I think a lot of drivers would be looking forward to getting that W tonight. Yep. And without much further ado, let's go to the track video and the hot lap.
The Suzuka International Racing Course is the crown jewel for Japanese motorsport and a circuit that bears host to the Japanese Grand Prix. Originally designed as a test track for Honda, the signature figure-8 layout containing some of F1's most recognizable corners and complexes, such as the S's, Spoon Curve and 130R, make Suzuka an instant spectacle for fans and drivers alike. Let's have a look at where the katanas clashed during Season 5 at Suzuka. Up 17 made full use of the high-speed 130R corner to force Wilster into a compromising position, and was rewarded with the race lead. After setting up through 130R, washing powder Nirma was confident the move was done on the Alpha through the Casio chicane, but made contact and conceded 2 positions in a single corner. And finally, Up 17 looked to duel with Wilster going into the final laps, but instead saw an opportunity into turn 1, an eccentric choice which paid dividends as he led into the S's.
Welcome to one of the most culturally significant and historically important tracks on the F1 calendar. Drivers love it simply because of the courage it takes to barrel down the pit straight and go as late on the brakes as you can through turn 1, which then throws you onto this section of S curves. Very trademark section of this Japanese Grand Prix. I mean, all of you all remember Sebastian Vettel doing his quali lap in 2018 and getting significant time through this section. What you've got to make sure is you don't go down the gears at the apexes and you use your engine braking as much as you can during the quali run. Now going up the Dunlop curve, which then throws you onto Degner, you just need to downshift, don't have to brake at all, which then throws you onto this section that takes the car onto the hairpin. Now the hairpin is a reward for those bold late breakers with fresh tires who want to get an overtake done, have got a fantastic sector 1 on the guy ahead of him, and now has an opportunity to get an overtake done through turn 12. Fast sweeping right-hander which then throws you onto the spoon curve. Now this is it's actually 2 turns which drivers treat as one because that gives you the fantastic maximum top speed coming out of this section onto the start-finish straight, I think, of the Formula 3000. Now this then throws you onto the super fast left-hander of 130R. All of you all remember Charles Leclerc holding his wing mirror through this section, which then throws you onto the Casio triangle. For drivers who have fresh tires and are good at overtaking, that's another overtaking spot on this track, as Nomopropi shows us what it's like to set a hot lap at Suzuka Grand Prix circuit.
Round Suzuka by a known pro player, and of course, let's not forget what went down last time around in Tier 2. So I think we're waiting for the lobby to ready up. In the meantime, Asset, Eccentric. So let's talk about turn 1. Like, obviously, you guys have raced around Japan, and what's your I personally find turn 1 in Japan to be extremely challenging, especially with traffic, especially when you have to judge the braking point of the start line.
I
Yep,
agree.
absolutely.
Yeah, go ahead,
Go
Leclerc.
ahead, go ahead.
I was saying that I think turn 1 will be very crucial, and as we all know, 3 or 4 wide does not go in there. So I hope the drivers can keep their patience and keep it clean. But let's see. I feel like we might have an incident or two over there. Some drivers try to gain positionings on the opening lap, but we'll have to find out.
Yep, absolutely. Completely agree.
Something else that I think carries a lot of drivers out is also the hairpin, that's a second generally section which I find that a lot of drivers struggle to master. Although it does seem like a relatively easy corner. I think a lot of corner, like especially if you look at that particular, like, it looks like a low speed corner when you look at it from the driver's perspective. But if you get a different angle of the view, if you look at a third person view of the corner, you actually see that it actually has a lot of camber, plus is actually a medium speed corner given its sheer size. And I think that's why a lot of drivers generally don't understand that you can actually carry a lot more speed than it may seem to.
Yep, absolutely. Also, it'll be interesting to see what kind of setup the boys run, because I think if you use like around 4-9 wings or so, the S's, like you can gain a lot of time in the S's. But like if you use something lower like 2.8, 2.7 or 3.7, you will be really struggling in the S's. So
It's
it'll be interesting to see the setup
it-
around.
it's always compromised because Suzuka is actually quite a high speed track, quite a lot of straights in between. So it's going to be interesting. A tire wear is also a bit of a tricky aspect, so a lot of things to balance here.
Yeah, I agree.
Absolutely, yeah.
Setup will be very crucial, and sector one is kind of a trade-off with the rest of the lap where you want as much downforce as you can get in sector one, but at the same time, the more downforce you take for sector one, it will compromise your other half of the lap. So the drivers who find a very good balance in their setup, which optimizes the lap time, I feel like they'll be the real winners here.
Yep, absolutely.
Yep, and one thing I would like to talk about is strategy. And as I feel, a lot of tier 2 drivers think that the correct strategy is soft hard, even though the game suggests it. But I don't think a lot of them are aware that soft medium, if you put on lap 10 or so, is much quicker and is the preferred strategy.
I think they should be readying up right now. We are at 8:05, and I think we should be readying up any second.
Yeah, we should be in the.
Strategy will be crucial as well, I agree. Let's see what all different types of strategies are played around with here. What do you think would be a good qualifying tire? The soft?
Yep,
Yeah,
easily. The alternate isn't very powerful around Japan because generally the C1, there's not a big difference between the C1 and C2 tires.
So, what do you think will be the whole time?
I'm expecting someone to be in the mid 26s, but it'll be interesting to see if somebody can get into the 25s.
Yep, but I think I would like to see at least one or two drivers put that 25 on the board.
I agree.
I think we can switch over to the game right now. They should be readying up any second.
Copy.
Oh, it's full wet falling.
This is
Oh,
interesting.
GG.
Now we'll
So-
be interested
so-
to see if the drivers choose a wet setup or a dry setup. I think they'll choose a dry
Yes,
setup.
there's no sense to choosing a dry setup here, wet setup at this point because the race is dry and that's where you really gain points. But a lot of drivers would not be. But this does give a lot of drivers the opportunity to start with any tire they want.
Yeah, that's also one more thing I forgot to mention. It'll be interesting to see if I think some people may forget as well that they'll have a free tire choice and they'll start on the default softs. And then after the race starts, they'll realize their mistake.
Yep. So far, nobody has come out of the pits. I wonder if track is intercommitted conditions. So I wonder if the track is going to dry up and towards the end.
I think I saw it was full wet the whole way. But yeah,
Well, I guess it's going to be a trade-off. Let's see which drivers attempt to use the wets and which drivers attempt to use the intermediates. It's going to be interesting. Now, in this case, what do you guys think will be the pole time in the wet conditions? As I see a few cars are coming out of the pit lane.
Japan.
I think you can generally rule of thumb subtract 10 seconds. So I think 36 or 35 should be around the time we should look for.
First car out in track seems to be equipped in his Mercedes.
So who do you think is gonna get pole in these wet conditions? As I think we already have a spun car. I'm not sure.
Certain drivers do seem to be struggling. So on board with Crazy Joe, one of our favorite keyboard warriors.
If he is one of the few on the keyboard, it'll be interesting to see what. I think maybe the traction control would come to help him a bit. It'll be interesting to see who else switches on the traction control as well. Apart from two drivers, everyone is out on track right now, so we should be seeing its timing sheets coming up.
First driver to start his hot lap will be encrypted as
If we can stay on board and take us through the lap as well.
So as he heads down turn 1, tricky conditions, braking point is crucial. Seems like he picks the right one, sticks to the inside on the right, gets a good enough exit. He starts going through the S's. Another tricky section, especially in the wet, traction will be critical. Seems to be doing well. His slight snap overstay, but corrects it, making his way through Tegna 1. Ooh, another snap. Takes Tegna 1 and Tegna 2 over here. Fairly easy, even though it seemed like he was struggling a bit. He's heading down to the hairpin section. Nice and easy on the traction, taking it very carefully. Another critical traction point. Keys to get a good exit over here because we have a long straight up till the hairpin. He reaches the hairpin, he throws it in, taking a wide line on the exit. Seems like this corner will be a little tougher for the drivers to take in the wets. As we come onto the back straight, we'll be approaching 130R. Ooh, and he goes off track.
Yeah, I think he kind of hit the curb on the outside, and that just causes a lot of wheel spin. Avi was the first one to start lap 139.4, so 13 seconds off. What I would consider a respectable time, but Cryptid, I think, should have easily beaten that if he did not have that wheel spin. I think we had a wet qualifying in Austria also, and I think we saw RV really struggle with the wet qualifying, but I think this time around he was much more comfortable. Crossing the line 139.1, so quite good between those two up there right now.
Faizan coming to P3 with the 140.2. We have Rant with the 139.6 taking at P3.
Yeah, one thing that... Ooh.
That was a close one.
I think that's a running theme lately, Faizan re-entering off track and blocking another car. It's been a theme in F1 and DCC these days.
Lecter comes across the line with a 140.4. WTF station coming with a 139.8.
I wonder if, in the wets, I generally prefer to do multiple laps back to back.
I agree, that's a good strategy.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised that actually no driver is going for that back-to-back strategy, going with around 9 laps of fuel, and then just going lap after lap, doing at least 2 or 3 laps. Everyone's just stopping after one lap.
Avi is back up with a 138.7. I think he was one of the guys who opted to stay out and go for another lap, and he seems to have improved.
Yep. Thing is, in wet conditions, more than tire wear, the conditions often play a bigger factor.
I feel like one more critical corner, especially in the wets, is 130R, where I've seen there's a very fine line of whether you can take it flat out or you have to lift or you have to downshift. It really quite
I'm
depends.
surprised you say that because 130R is actually quite easy flat, but I think you need to be smooth with the steering as our car sets a 138.6. So I think the track is actually at this point very drastically improving.
I agree. And it'll be interesting to see what kind of lap times these guys put in towards the end of the session as the track dries up even more.
Oh, and his RB loses it at Dunlop, and that is back to the pits for a wing change.
He will definitely need to go back. And as Masum said earlier, RB did seem to struggle a bit in the wets, especially back at Austria. So I hope his luck changes and he turns it all around. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah, so far he's chilling in P3 with a 39.1. Let's see if we can improve on that.
A lot of cars on hot laps right now.
I think everyone are probably doing the multiple lap strategy.
Sitton currently went purple in the second sector. Let's see what kind of times he can put here. So there's a yellow flag in sector 1 and sector 2.
Yeah, I think he's pitting. I think that was Dunlop or Degner. The yellow flag
we
was.
have Crazy Joe giving way, staying off track as a Ferrari goes by. Seems to be pile up coming near 130R.
Yeah, I think the corners are dangerous here are Dunlop, Degner, and 130R. A lot of people seem to be losing it there.
I agree. The bunch is pretty close. The car ahead, car behind. Sometimes dirty air can catch you out in the wets.
As we are on board Deepak Raj, who actually this is his first Tier-2 race, as he unfortunately could not attend the first 2 rounds. So as he comes across the... I think there's our first retiree. I think that was... not sure where that was.
I think right outside 130R, we should be able to see his car on the left. There it is.
Yep, there it is. Yep, 130R. As you mentioned, one of the danger corners in the wets has caught out one driver. Let's see who else it catches out.
Seagull starts the lap here. Oh, there's another yellow flags all around the track.
Yeah, there's yellow flags everywhere. I think that's just before Dunlop. I think that's a Haas, if I'm not wrong.
Oh, there's
It's a McLaren.
In the grass. There's another McLaren in the grass. What's
Both
happening?
Both McLarens are on the grass, and yeah, that was the Haas I was talking about, Akash as well. So yeah, the S's Dunlop, and oh my God, it is fun again.
There's a lot of traffic with WTF giving way as well to cars on hot laps.
Yeah, all 3 of them getting kindly off the track to give way.
Oh, there's a lot of traffic build up. As I feel Crazy Joe was on a lap and maybe had to abort as he invalidated.
Yeah, hopefully no damage was done or no hot laps were blocked in that mess. So yellow flag sector 3 as well. So I think that's another car who went off at 130R, if I'm not wrong.
Oh, let's see. Yes, it does seem like a red car. Maybe.
Bulldog comes across the line at 2. Oh, he goes P3. So very nice lap from 39.0. And I think he goes wide at 1.
As Deepak Raj comes into the pits, so does Electric. And we have
a resident Spinala expert.
Right on the exit of Degner 2, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
No, it's actually the hairpin. Yeah, it's actually out of the hairpin. We just lost it. That out of the hairpin is also a massive traction zone, and it's
Traction
very
is
very.
critical, especially in the wets. You have to be ever so careful on throttle.
Yeah, I've spun a number of times in the dry, so I can't imagine what it's like in the wet.
Yeah, I agree. Seems to be yellow flags again on the exit of the hairpin.
This chicken cleanly makes his way through dead nut 2. I think he's not been able to put a decent lap because I'd expect him to be a lot higher up the grid. Let's see what he can put up. Looking at the timing, she's actually really close. I mean, from P4 to P around P14 is just 1 second. As we have Faizan going into provisional
Wow.
pole with a 38.5.
Isn't this a treat to watch Faizan on pole?
Yeah, I hope he stays there or he can improve to stay there.
Definitely.
Faizan on pole is definitely a big headline for the tier 2 boys.
Ooh, slight lock up there, but he makes the corner cleanly as he heads down at 4th gear.
I think he was still a bit down on his second sector, but with the purple final sector goes P6, but they replaced
7, RB Ferrero.
by RB, so it's a 38.3.
Proving all his doubters wrong, RB Ferrero puts in a great
Yes,
lap.
absolutely.
Comes up to P1.
As I think there's a permanent yellow flag at least somewhere right now.
Seems to be a lot of yellow flags going around. Let's see if we can find the action. Seems to have a bunch of cars close to each other. It's compromising a lot of the drivers.
The only driver not to set a time is AB Tsunoda, who's still in the pits. Quickly, can come out quickly.
Maybe he's
He
planning a
came-
master plan to come out only when the track is at the most dry section,
Yeah.
the dry part, and then putting in bank a lap. Oh, he seems to be out as we speak on his out lap, so we'll
He
keep an
just-
eye on him.
He just came out now.
Which other cars are on a hot lap? Deepak Raj starts his lap. Throws it in nicely, hitting all the right apexes. Gets a good enough exit as RB Ferrello again puts in a quicker time with a 1:38.4, with Evil Dog just 1/100th of a second behind. Oh, and
I
we have a
think-
crash. And we
Yeah.
have a crash in the S's. And
No,
who could
I
it
think
be?
I believe that was 130R, if I'm not wrong.
I think I can see a racing point in the S's.
Okay, my bad.
And this is
Yeah,
the one and
Faizan
only.
Faizan going off. We just talked about him being provisional pole, but he decides to win it.
Oh yeah, his car's still about off track, but I assume it was one of these corners right here. A tricky one. Slight lock up there, but seems to be doing alright now.
All right, and as it stands right now, what's the pole time right now? I can't read it off the screen.
Full time is a 1:38.099 by RB Ferrello, proving to be strong at this track. And Akash, P7, seem to retire. And
Deepak class takes pole, so
Wow.
will this be his first pole position of the season?
that is
Yeah,
quite
the track is really improving. Right now.
Improving. Yeah, right now it's anyone's game. Whoever leaves at the very end will gain like a massive advantage.
I think we just saw the car on the right there of Akash, who seems to have gone off and retired.
Yep.
As we're on board,
Yeah.
the Deepak Raj's
uh,
teammate.
Yep, and Electrip has invalidated his lap, but I think looking at the map, he has a lot of traffic ahead. So I think he needs to be a bit careful right now because all the drivers would at this point be parking it at the last
I
corner. And if someone bins it ahead of him, like that's going to affect his lap.
with just 1 minute 20 seconds in qualifying left. Deepak Raj currently sits at provisional pole.
And I'm not sure what's happening here, but okay, they're giving way.
Very tight corner to give way, but I think it was just about good enough.
Interestingly, he had purple sector 1.
RB Ferrello retires, and I think he might have been in the pits, if I'm not wrong.
Yep, that was retirement in the pits. So
Yeah,
there's a less than a minute to go.
Yeah, but I think RB didn't really time his qualifying strategy properly as he now, as technically everyone who is going to set a lap now is going to have a big advantage right now. Speaker 19 really needs to thread his way through, but he's, I don't think those inputs are going to help the conditions right now. Freeze right now improving on his time. Let's see how he takes his spoon.
Yellow flag in sector 2 and seems to be coming out of the gap.
I think that was Rand or it was Rand. I think
It was Rand.
Yep.
And Crazy Joe's invalidated his lap, so it seems like he will remain with the same time. Don't think he'll make it to the line in time for another lap.
Yep.
First car coming around will be a Williams, if I'm not wrong.
Crypted, again, I'm sure what happened, but Crazy Joe, has invalidated his lap, does not improve. Let's go on about Freeze improving the lap. Only P11. I thought he would improve more, but fair enough.
Ferrari coming in off Monk. Correction.
It's an Alpha. Yeah, looks like the track didn't really improve that much, and looks like Deepak Raj is keeping that pole position by a 10.
It does.
Just over it.
That's interesting. McLaren coming in. It might be electric. And he's in the pits.
Baby Tsunoda, can he improve the lap time? But he hasn't improved in the second sector so far. Doesn't look comfortable on traction in the last 15. Takes the inside line to minimize the attack. Goes P5.
Wow, that's a good lap to save his qualifying.
I think we have Sid Kulkarni who's right now rounding out the last 15. He is improving. Let's see how much he is related to pole now crossing the line. He is off by 3/10, but can he make the difference in the last corner?
Purple second sector. Picks his braking point, throws it in. He comes around the last corner. Let's see what time he can put in. Will it be good enough for pole with one purple sector?
Yep. He's off by 5/10, and that's putting him P8.
Seems to have lost all the time in sector 3.
Yep. Something I'll talk about how much the grid has closed up in the last couple of races. They've really closed the gap. I think last season we had a big gap of around multiple seconds, but it's great to see that the entire field has now closed up much more.
Definitely. It's always good to see drivers improve and to get better racing, more cleaner racing, so we have some great races to watch and to race in.
Yeah, when we have Deepak Raj on pole for the first time in Tier 2, and he's going to have a very different view for today's race.
Definitely. So, Massimo, you want to take us through the starting grid for our race?
Yep, sure. So right now we have Deepak Raj on board, we have RB on P2, we have Cryptid in P3, we have Avi in P4, we have Baby Sunoda, also known as Piyush Gandhi, in P5, we have Evil Dog in P6, we have What the Fuck Chicken in P7, we have Seth Kulkarni in P8, we have Faizan, Akash, and the game has changed to the next screen. But never mind, let's see who's going to be the man crossing the finish line first in a couple of hours' time.
Definitely. And we're back to the drives. That's a relief for a lot of drivers, I'm guessing.
Yep.
So with the free tire choice now, what do you think would be the optimal strategy? Seems we're having some technical issues with the commentator, but no worries. So we're currently waiting on the drivers to ready up, and I hope there's no lobby glitch this time. As usually, this game is not known to be one of the most stable releases, especially on the online experience. But
Hello, and sorry, my bad. My internet decided to uh, eat off into the distance.
it's all good. Glad that you're back.
I hope that wasn't heard on stream.
Bless you, just in case it was. So I was asking, now that we have a free tire choice, what do you think the optimum strategy would be?
I think it's going to be soft medium. It's kind of a no-brainer to not what do you call go for that strategy because track position is important and the medium soft is not that much faster. It's actually not. It's debatably faster Suzuka.
As we head off to the formation lap, what do you think about your top? If you're outside the top 10, do you think about starting on a different tire, maybe trying to jump people in pit stops?
I mean, the only reason why you would do that is maybe to make. So, like, if it were me, I probably would because what that means is that after everyone, all the soft runners ahead of me boxes, it gives me the opportunity to overcut them. That's one situation where you would consider using that particular strategy. But on the other side, what do you call? Sometimes it can work against you because you wouldn't have the grip in the first lap. But the main reasoning why you would as a front runner, if you had a bad qualifying, you would start on a harder tire to pull off the overcut on cars who should be slower than you, and but they qualified much ahead of you.
I agree.
At least in a track like Suzuka, but in a track like USA or in a track like debatably Baku, Silverstone is an exception. So there are a few tracks where like the alternate strategy is extremely powerful.
I agree.
Mexico is one place where the alternate strategy is extremely powerful. Mexico, Abu Dhabi, those are all tracks where you generally see a big advantage on the alternate strategy.
I agree because the undercut and overcut both can prove to be extremely strong.
Yep.
Let's see the tire details. We have the top 4 starting on softs, P5, P6 on mediums, and P7 on softs with WTF chicken, P8, P9 on mediums again. So it's quite a mixed bunch that people are going for.
So, something interesting that I think the medium runners need to be wary of, if they have injured in the first lap, they're kind of like left to dry out in terms of what tire they can go next.
I agree, definitely.
So they will need to be extra careful.
Interesting. Behind P10 and onwards, there seems to be most people going on the mediums with a few soft runners and Crazy Joe on the hards. So we'll have to see how that gamble pays off. It's an interesting strategy to be the only one on hards though.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of drivers waiting to come back to the grid right now.
We had a bit of a paced out grid on the formation lap.
Yep. People on the inside need to be careful because it's very hard to judge. Avi is disconnected. Hopefully he has rejoined back. But it's really hard to judge where to brake entering the first corner, especially if you're on the inside. Do we have the lights or? Yep, we have the lights.
You have green flags but no lights. That's interesting.
Yep.
I hope there's not a lobby glitch. But you never know with this game. It throws surprises at you when you least expect it.
I think it's stuck from the looks of it, but let's see.
Seems like the cameraman is a bit tipsy as well because the camera's
Let me just go check. We're going green flag now.
5 lights and we're off.
Deepak gets a really good start, but RB seems to have had a much better second start and
we have a
Captain is now
retirement
joining
already.
the front. Ooh, Racing Point of Abhi, who's a reserve for today, already retires, but RB gets a better start, and we have a VSC.
Already,
So
wow, that.
yeah, I want to go to the start there. It seemed like Deepak got a really good first season start, but I think he got a lot of wheel spin in the second season start, which I think ultimately helped RB to jump ahead of him.
Definitely, and I feel like he may have been playing it a bit safe at turn 1.
Yep, even I agree with that. But I think we have a VSC now, so I think hopefully a lot of the drivers. Is that? Do I see a ran with a broken wing?
Oh, is it? That's interesting. I feel like he might have had some contact on the start.
Yep.
And we did see a racing point of Abhi get spun around right at the start and hit the wall.
Yep, and I think we're still on. We are green flag racing again, and away we go. Yep, looks like the RB once again got the jump on Deepak Raj, and he is now going to be pulling into the distance, and Deepak will need to now look towards defending from Cryptid. Can he have the same pace in the drives as he did in the wets? Let's see. Ooh, Cryptid is using all his overtake right now, trying to defend. Looks like he got on the overtake a tiny bit earlier than Deepak Raj, and with the slipstream, he's moving ever so closer. Is he going to send one on the inside? Deepak Raj goes defensive, keeps that position, but now on the main straight, Cryptid would is ever so closer. Suzuka, if you have a good enough overtake, you can easily get past drivers. Yeah, we can see Deepak Raj is now using all his overtake to defend from Cryptid over here.
What has happened to Abhi?
It'll get fixed over the first sector. Let's stay on board, Deepak. Well, the Cryptid is once again right on his. He is right behind Deepak. He's putting immense pressure, but as we see that the RB has just pulled away a nice, comfortable lead to the cars behind him. But I think there's been a lot of incidents. As we can see, the pack is already spread out, and we have Rant and I think that's Electric already in the pits.
We have Electric and Court in the pits.
Yep.
The leaderboards are messing around with us again.
It should reset once all of them cross the first sector line, but yeah. But it's absolutely unacceptable. Really, the game has been around for like it's entering its last sector, and it's kind of mad that they're interested yet.
Definitely, and I don't know if you can see. There's something funny going on with the tires of McLaren as well. So this game definitely needs to be fixed. It's still quite broken as well.
Yep, absolutely. And now Deepak Raj. But Deepak Raj, I think right now he needs to think more about how to defend from.
I think RB Flero
Cryptid.
did actually get ahead.
Yep. Yeah, and as we say that, Cryptid is that much more closer, but I think Cryptid is now. Actually, both of them are playing quite conservatively with the ERS right now, but Cryptid now is using all of his ERS, trying to get past Deepak Raj. Can he get the move done?
Tries to play it safe.
He's just putting pressure on Deepak to get that mistake out of him. But Deepak right now doesn't seem to be flinching. And as we say that, we have the number 9 Ferrari of Baby Tsunoda, who has now just taken the fastest lap of the race.
Definitely, and I think
can you move to gap to intervals, please?
Definitely.
Yep.
Evil Dog right on the back of WTF Chicken.
Yep, I think Cryptid just made a mistake in Dunlop, and that means that Deepak now has a lot more breathing space, and I think Deepak would now be trying to get closer to RB, but further behind, yeah, Evil Dog and what the fuck Chicken seems to be the closest battle on track. But I can see Akash now moving ever so closer to BK19, and BK19 won't have DRS next lap to defend from him.
Definitely, all the cars are getting a bit bunched up again towards the rear of the pack.
Yep, absolutely. But this is it's broken into 3 trains effectively right now, and something I'd like to talk about is being part of a train, because you just gain so much when you are part of a train. And we see that Electric has now crashed at Dunlop, and as
That's
we saw yellow flag.
Let's go on foot with him. Seems to have damage.
No, his car seems to be relatively intact, so he should be happy about that.
We have Rambo and Crazy Joe battling it out.
Yeah,
Rambo now has DRS and Crazy Joe seems to have got a better exit and seems to take the position. Let's see how they fare going down in turn 1. Tier-2 decides to keep it clean. He decides to back off and get him back on this lap, it seems. Smart move.
Tier-2, let's not forget, is in the hards right now, so he is playing the long game here as he will have faster tires at the end of the stint. But then again, as you mentioned, the all-terrain is not that much more powerful in Suzuka. Ooh, as you say that he spins out and completely in Dunlop.
Oh, that's very unfortunate. And it might be a case of commentators curse, but I don't know. I don't want to say.
Right now we have Faizan right now in P8. He will be looking forward to chasing down P7, but he does need to keep up, move on right now. But everyone ahead of him is also looking to up the game as he goes really wide at sport.
There's a yellow flag with a horse. That is Akash.
So maybe if you remember, he was trying to fight BK19 earlier. So maybe while trying to move, he perhaps got into a tussle, but his wing seems to be intact so far.
I think the biggest loser here is Avi, who has got a really good launch and somehow to turn on lap 2 seems to have lost out massively.
We have a change of position in the top 3 as we have Deepak Raj, who has now lost a position and has now fallen back one position. So Clifford has gotten ahead of him. In the meantime, can you please change the tires the drivers are currently on? You can use the keyboard shortcut. D will change it. Yeah.
My bad. Just a second. There we go.
Yep. Gap to Yes, thank you. Yep. As you can see, Baby Tsunoda is right now the highest driver on the mediums right now.
Definitely. And it seems that he's amassed the penalty as well.
Yep.
So WTF Chicken, Faizan and Freeze. If I'm not wrong, a lot of these penalties were on lap 1, so I'm guessing there may be some type of contact.
Could be, as Baby Tsunoda clips it inside curb on the exit of the spoon and just drifts absolutely wide.
Medium seem to be holding up decently well compared to Deepak Raj's pace. He's inching closer. Now the gap is just 4 tenths, 5 tenths. And there you go. The traction of the softs proving itself. But Baby Tsunoda has DRS, inching closer. And WTF Chicken is on the back of Baby Tsunoda, just 6 tenths behind. So these are one of the trains we were talking about, that since everyone has DRS, everyone just collectively goes in front.
Yep, and Baby Tsunoda is in a really good position right now. And, I think Deepak Raj is having a moment now where he's falling a bit farther back from the drivers ahead. So he needs to now reset himself and try to make a forward push. In the meantime, Baby Tsunoda, his cars are improving ever so slightly. He should be gaining massively on the cars who start on the softs in the next 3-4 laps, but he needs to get past Deepak first, and I think RB and Cryptid will be coming into the pits in a couple of laps time.
Definitely.
Yep, and the Evil Dog was also not too far behind, so the field is really, really close.
Yep.
Let's go on board. Let's go on board Baby Tsunoda. I think he will be going for a move on the main straight.
Just about 3 tenths behind. He will have the DRS assistance and he will have WTF Chicken on his back with the softs. So let's see how he can cope up.
He is a bit low on ERS. Does Deepak have damage? I'm quite interested. Looks like he has a slight bit of end plate damage on the right, but as we say that, Baby Tsunoda easily glides past the McLaren. He has slight end plate damage on the right.
Oh, so that's why. That explains the lack of pace that we expected from him, and that's why he is dropping back. But I hope once he pits and gets the damage repaired, he should be flying up back the field for a good recovery.
Yeah, absolutely.
Currently, this is our closest 3-way battle for the final podium position of P3.
Yeah. but it's still a long race. We don't know how this could now turn. Let's not
Definitely.
forget. Let's not forget something very important is where when the soft run is boxed, where will they come out later? Will they come out in traffic? And how long they get stuck behind are also important factors here.
Definitely. Baby
Yep.
Sonoda seems to be pulling out a gap of nearly 9.5 tenths.
Yeah, but he did set for sector 1, but of course he had the other resistance.
As we have
And
a yellow flag in sector 2. But it seems to be just a car going off track slightly. Oh, and IRC Grand retires from the session.
ooh, he's having a really bad spell right now. As Baby Sonoda is at the fast lap of the race, he's gaining. Among other things, Scripted has just now entered the DRS range of RB Ferrello. And as they say that they are now entering the final lap, it's very interesting to see because Suzuka is a track where you really benefited being on a wheel because of the nature of the track, and it's really interesting to see Scripted having the pace advantage, but as you said, he did make a mistake in the assist and seems to have fallen a couple of bits behind, but his tires are absolutely short there.
Definitely.
I don't think so. I think he will have to come into the box soon.
Definitely. Soft runners should be pitting soon. Lap 8 is where the medium definitely has the advantage. As we can see, Baby Sonoda has pulled out almost 3 seconds on the soft runners behind. Oh, I'm sorry. He's pulled out 1 second. It's still showing a lot more pace on those mediums. So the soft runners need to get rid of those tires soon. If I'm not wrong, IRC may have just gone into the pits and retired. Because I did see Mercedes pulling into the pits.
Yep, but in the meantime, we have what the fuck. But I think Rand probably boxed because he did mention that he wanted to watch the Manchester United game tonight, so he probably decided, well, what's the point of me being here, and probably headed back to the pits to watch the game. Yep, absolutely. But Baby Sonoda is really making a charge right now, or I'm not sure because I cannot see the gaps. Yeah, it seems to be remaining more or less constant. So pitch strategy is going to be ever the more important over here.
Right.
Deepak Raj is slowly drifting backwards, but what the fuck chicken is
Yep.
now moving closer to him.
Gap is just about 4 tenths and closing, so I think WTF Chicken might have a bit more pace advantage at this moment with the softs, but
Yep.
they might just pit at the end of the lap, so he may not be able to get the overtake.
Yeah, absolutely. Ooh, big locker, but I think there's a certain bug where what do you call if game shows lockup in spectator view, the drivers are actually locking up.
Yeah, so it seems like a lot of drivers using ABS often is locking up every corner, so that might be one of the glitches. And Avi gets a 3-second time penalty. If I'm not wrong, Avi's still in P1. I'm not sure if what's happening here.
That's a glitch that you have to reset.
Yeah, he has pit for
it's
the
a very-
hards after the first lap incident.
Yep, it's a timing glitch, I believe. But now RB crossing the line and corrupted boxes, so he's pulling the undercut. What can what the fuck chicken do right now? But he's not able on the last corner. That's what I'm seeing. So right now, Deepak seems to be having that edge in terms of in the right corners, which is making it difficult for what the fuck chicken to overtake.
Definitely, and we have Tanish in chat saying RB can win if he keeps it consistent. We definitely agree. We have to see how Baby Sonoda's strategy plays out as he's currently running in P2.
Yep, the Deepak Raj is trying that ever so tiny bit wide in turned up, and that does mean that what the
and
fuck
we
chicken.
have
Ooh, and encrypted
crash.
tires. And we have a safety car, so that means
Oh, that is so unfortunate.
that heavily benefits whoever's out on the socks right now.
And we think we should be coming across his car somewhere on the left. There it is.
Yeah. I wonder what happened to Cryptid over there.
I think he came out on the hards, and it might have just been tire temperatures not up, and he expected too much grip and overdrove the car.
Let me have a look at what exactly happened if you had an incident with the driver. Can you go through that? Let me go through the replay, map in the replay.
We have some shuffling going around in the safety car.
So based on the replay, I think Cryptid crashed while exiting the pits. So
that's unfortunate.
yeah, so yep. So I'm very unfortunate for him. So I think he misjudged the grip, the hearts that we would have provided, and ultimately lost out. It proved to be a very costly mistake for him.
Bunch of cars coming into the pits as RB Trello heads out first on the hards, and let's see, next Evil Dog comes out. WTF Chicken. Deepak Raj seems to have lost out quite a lot.
I think he fixed his wing, so
Definitely, I think that cost him a lot of time, and he lost the position to WTF Chicken.
Yep.
So we have 15 drivers still in the race, 3 retirements, and a safety car.
Yep, Baby Sonoda staying out, Sid Kukan is staying out. I think he should have gone. They should have gone to the Hearts. That was probably the best option. But the Hearts really don't give any grip around Suzuka.
Definitely.
So I am kind of it's going to be interesting on to see how drivers adapt to the hard tire.
Sid Kulkarni is in P2 on the mediums. His gamble seems to have paid off.
Yeah, but once again, they do not have the tires right now.
Yep.
Right now, I think Chicken and Deepak are in the best position at this point.
Definitely.
They have the grip, and the hards actually don't wear out very similar to the medium. So you don't get a pace advantage, you don't get a tire wear advantage. The hards are the worst tire
Oh,
to
as
be.
Deepak Raj retires.
Yes.
Oh no, what has happened here?
What just happened there?
I think he might have just lost it maybe on traction and gone into the wall. We'll be coming up to his car soon. We'll be able to get a better look. This is so unfortunate.
Yeah, I think he lost it out of the hairpin.
Right there on the left.
Yep.
He might have just lost it on traction and gone into the wall. That's so unfortunate for him. Our pole sitter for today is in a good position for the podium. His first podium in the league. Unfortunately, he's lost it.
Yeah, very unfortunate right now. And I think right now that I'm not going to jinx anyone, but I think right now that puts Chicken in probably the best place possible for the next for the upcoming stint.
Definitely, we have someone else, Baby Sonora, pitting so late into the safety car.
Yeah, I think I mean he cannot pass by a 20-second time advantage, of course. So he's now realized time to head into the pits, and like I think a pit around Suzuka is actually quite short. It's like 18 seconds.
Right,
So
and he's
kind
come
of
out
like
on the softs. That is interesting.
It's a very interesting strategy.
I don't know if that was a mistake or is he trying to go on the softs on purpose.
They can last actually. They last around thereabouts really. So
It's
it
going
could
to be
pay off.
dangerous towards the end as we have
Avi,
car of Avi dropping back. There seems to be an issue there.
he was disconnected. So very interesting.
And electric is off. What is happening in safety car? I don't even know. Cars are all over the place. I think there's a bunch of illegal overtake glitches going on here and there with drivers swapping positions.
Seth Kulkarni right now leading the race, but yeah, safety car should be in this lap, but now after he boxes, he will have to find an additional 18 seconds in lap time.
Definitely. And RB correction, Baby Sonora could have maybe boxed on the first lap safety car came out, because he's now in P11 and seems to have lost a few positions based on the fact just being bunched up. It seemed like quite a late call for him.
Yep, absolutely.
I think maybe this time around the safety car might be going in. Doesn't seem like as of yet. But this is helping all the drivers save up the tires.
Yeah, it should be coming in this lap. And it's going to be interesting to see how each driver, if somebody will be looking forward to getting the run on other drivers right now onto the main straight. Sometimes if you hold back a tiny bit, you can get the momentum to overtake drivers ahead.
Yes, and it seems like the safety car is in this lap, so the pack has been bunched up, and here we go for the second or third time this race. Sid Kulkarni seems to have got a decent start. RB Ferraro 6 tenths behind on the hards. Track seems to be super bunched up, good moves all around.
He's elected lap.
I think he might have been lapped. He was the only one lapped. But are we? Oh, the race has gone back to worse for Avi. Or was that a glitch? I don't even know what's happening at this point. This game surprises me every single time. There was a car in the wall, but I'm not able to see who that was. I see a little pumping going on between Baby Sonoda and BK19.
Yeah, I think right now Baby Sonoda needs to be quite aggressive because those softs are not going to last forever. So he needs to have that aggression. And I did mention earlier that the hards aren't really very well optimized here around Suzuka. So he needs to get a move on. As we say, that said, Kulkarni has now pulled a gap, so not sure if Abi made a mistake or if he is currently getting caught off guard as Baby Sonoda does just get ahead. Now he'll be looking forward to chasing down Crazy Joe.
The gap between P7, 8, 9 and 10 just about, and 11, just about 8 tenths between each driver. Oh, and Crazy Joe loses it and is in the wall on the exit of one of the S's.
Yeah, I think the cold hards are the old hards maybe aren't doing him any favors
13 lap
right
old
now.
hard.
Yeah, but what the fuck chicken? It looks really close to Evil Dog right now.
Definitely. And he does have the tire advantage. Let's see if he can convert that into another position. Sid Kulkarni should be feeling the pain of his 13 lap old mediums now, and his pace should be dropping with the hard runners a tad bit. Let's see how that plays out. I think between now and the next few laps would be the good time for the medium runners such as Sid, as he's the only one in the mediums, old mediums that is, and he should be heading into the pits sometime soon. But currently in Net P1 we have RB Ferrello, Evil Dog, and WTF Chicken to round out the podium.
Yep. Yeah, I think Evil Dog is trying to now move closer to RB. Interesting to see that the pace Evil Dog is giving. I wonder if RB is struggling to get temperature into his tires right now.
The hards after a safety car restart are impossible to drive around for a few laps because you've got to get those temperatures in, and it's extremely hard to heat those hards. RB Feller seems to be doing okay. So we have Faizan in P5, which is not too bad. And at P4. And Baby Sonoda seems to be getting ever so close.
Yep, he doesn't have penalties, and I think he actually had a 5-second penalty which he was able to serve under the safety car, and that means that he's been able to be that much quicker. He can now race without worrying about penalties right now.
Definitely.
And so far, not many people have penalties, but there's definitely just something that's going to play into his hands right now.
I agree. He's like, we'll be able to see the soft work its magic and traction out of the final corner. And it should be a pass for him on his teammate Rambo.
Oh no, but I think he kind of got too close. He didn't really pace himself going mid corner, and that has put him on the back foot for the next corner ahead. Every minute where he's stuck behind these cars is time lost for BB Sonoda right now.
Definitely, he is losing a lot of time behind this whole train. The Electric is battling Faizan as laptop.
Yep. So definitely going to be interesting, and the top train ahead seems to have been maintaining their current positioning for quite some time. Sid Kulkarni is probably holding up the entire pack, and I think everyone is kind of like in a state of flux right now because everyone has around the same level of ERS and they can't really move forward or backward right now.
This is a classic example of a DRS train.
I think Sid Kulkarni would be heading to the pitch right now, but he's really showing some good pace on those old mediums.
Definitely.
But he should be heading to the pitch, and that could potentially release these trains right now.
Definitely. Let's take a look on the onboard of WTF Chicken to see how this plays out.
And as I said, Sid Kulkarni did head into the pitch this lap.
Kulkarni has headed into the pitch finally after 16 laps on those mediums.
Yep. And Baby Sonoda has now moved into P5 as Abhi at the first lap. Yep, so that means Baby Sonoda just got past both Monk and BK19, which came out of nowhere.
Electric gets 3 seconds penalty. So this is going from bad to worse.
Yep. Baby Sonoda's tires are looking quite decent really. He's actually maintaining them quite well. So I guess he is not at pushing 100% right now, but now he needs to get past Faizan.
Definitely, but I feel like he's extremely low on ERS and that is going to cost him a lot of time.
Yeah, but he will have DRS next lap, and if you have DRS, even if you have a tiny bit of DRS, then with the better traction also you should be able to easily get past.
Definitely. He seems to be edging closer for another move on Faizan this time.
Yeah, just look at the level of slipstream he's getting. Without using ERS itself, he's gaining a massive amount right now.
That softs are really playing out well for him.
If he's using the overtake, he's going to get the move done before the catches again.
Does seem like. Let's see if he can break that tad bit later than Faizan. And he does. There's a slight bit of contact. Oh, ever so close. And they make it through more or less cleanly as he takes the position.
Handy gets a DRS. So very well timed.
That worked out very well for him. As he is now into P4. P5. No, I believe it is P4. The leaderboards are a bit glitched. Oh,
Yep. Chicken spins looks.
Oh, that is so unfortunate. We have drivers dropping out like flies.
Yeah, absolutely, and that means Baby Sonoda moves to the P4. Evil Dog is in for a podium position right now.
Wow, this race has really changed. We've had Deepak Raj, Cryptid, and WTF Chicken have some very bad luck, and all of them seemed like they were on track for a podium. And wow, this race has just been very intense for those drivers.
Yep.
As Monk gets ahead of Faizan.
Yep, he's struggling a bit, I think, in terms of pace right now. He seems to be falling back. But I think he should be relatively safe from BK19 behind him. I think something crucial is that What the Fuck Chicken did not get significant damage in that collision, so maybe he can still recover to a really good pace. But after a spin, it's definitely quite difficult to have the right mentality to move forward.
Definitely, it does get quite frustrating seeing yourself in such a good position and making a mistake like that.
Yep. Now, Evil Dog is maintaining that gap to Abi Ferraro, but catching up or keeping up is one thing, passing is completely another, as what was once said by our fellow admin Kipal Bharat.
As IRC Crazy Joe gets a penalty while pitting, 5 seconds of speeding in the pit lane. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, the Williams boys has been doing some really shoddy pit shadowing, if I should say so. But as we said, that said, Kulkarni has now really moved much closer to the driver's head as Faizan gets a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting, and that moves his total up to 6.
Definitely.
Alright, and right now, the Evil Dog has now moved in 3 tenths closer to Avi Perello, and in the meantime, we said Kulkarni on those softs is now very close to what the fuck chicken.
Oh, definitely. This is not going to help Chicken's race. Sid is on much faster tires and much better tires, the soft compound, and it should be relatively easier to get it ahead. We'll see how it
but
works out.
I think unfortunately, due to that spin, I think the best Kulkarni can finish right now is P7 or maybe P6, P5 with considering the penalties ahead. But if he had boxed for the hards or perhaps in the softs, I think he could have finished in a much better place. But he should now be deploying all his ERS and getting past Chicken on the main straight.
Should be blasting past it of the DRS and the ERS. And seems like a relatively easy move. He goes down in turn one, goes a bit wide, extremely wide.
Really wide. And gets position. Oh, he just carried that overspeed and he gets a time penalty.
Oh, that is so unfortunate for him.
Yeah.
He had an easy move and just carried that much extra speed into the corner and lost out. As Akash seems to be catching up to the back of Faizan now. Faizan's pace has been wrapping up and Electric has retired from the race.
Yeah, he seems to... Oh, we have the safety car.
He seems to have crashed at Tegna 2. What's going on here?
Yep, so a lot of the time in this race, that's interesting to see. And in the meantime, we have Avi Perello.
Oh, there is his car, right there on the right side.
And I think somebody who's going to really benefit from this is Baby Tsunoda. Because now he does not have to how do you say it? He does not have to he can choose to not box and conserve his softs, and the top two should stay out. And I think RB was trying to dummy that for a second as Baby Tsunoda boxes. So very strange position for him.
So another pair of softs for him, do you think?
Yep.
Faizan gets ahead of him. There's an 8-second gas. Akash boxes. DK19 boxes. WTF Chicken stays out. He might get the jump on these guys, but what is this? DK19 into medium tires?
Oh no, we have another rank here. So we have Electric in the box with this today. So Electric, what happened?
Basically, I had damage in the first lap, so I went to pit. But because of my pit stop and I spun twice, I lost a lot of time. By the time the safety car came out, I was not on the racing lap. I was one lap behind. So I couldn't race anyone in anything. I tried. I had decent pace, but I couldn't race anyone. So I was like, you know what? I'm actually going to go to the pits and retire. But I was letting everyone go. Because I was like, I'm going to go to the pits and retire. There's no point racing anymore because I'm already one lap down. So I actually gave it too much power and spun out and hit the wall.
Ouch. It's gonna hurt. But is it raining on track? Because I can see some buttons on Inters.
We have BK19 on
not,
intermediates.
It's not raining on track.
Well, it's going to be kicking himself for this one, or if it is Jeff that put him on in. Because Jeff has been known to have some pretty great strategy calls, such as this one right here. So we don't really know what's going on over there.
You never know. He's probably boarding some rubber on track in the first safety car lap, and then he's planning. He knows where he put the rubber down.
Definitely seems like a good strategy. So now we have Baby Tsunoda down in P7 and Sid Kulkarni on the 3-lap old softs in P6. WTF Chicken on 9-lap old mediums, and we have the hard runners in P1, P2, P3 and P4. So this might have just been the saving grace for WTF Chicken.
Yep, absolutely.
Safety car seems to have played well in his favor, but he is going to have to defend from the soft runners behind him. So he should plan to get ahead of the hard runners at the start if possible and keep that buffer between them. see some very ups and downs in this race. So many people having a great race and one small mistake and you're out. And that's the nature of this track. And it is somewhat what we expected. One mistake and a lot of loss for a lot of drivers.
Absolutely, and it's going to be interesting now what kind of strategy these guys opt for, because that's definitely going to be a huge factor now. How do you put it? Like it's quite. We have the old hard runners that are kind of the front with the 10-lap old hards and mediums, but we also have a lot of people right now on fresh softs, and if those tires are really fast, they could end up mugging the people ahead. And as you see that, we can see both the alphas are right now running P2, P3.
Definitely, it's a very good day for the alphas today. But let's see if they can hold on to that position with 10-lap old hards with the likes of the mediums and the softs behind, with such a close field.
Absolutely.
As we have Streeter in chat saying some Illuminati going on. It definitely seems like, with a lot of position changes. And he also says Faizan the GOAT going strong. It is pretty strong for P4, considering he had a few incidents in the earlier part, but he seems to have hung on for now.
Yeah, but he has 6 seconds of penalty, so that's not helping him right now.
Definitely. It'll be interesting to see who rounds off the top 10 as well, because everyone from P6 to P13 is on the soft, so it's pretty much going to be another race going on over there. Safety car is in this lap. That's interesting. That was a pretty late call.
Very late call. That means hard runners are going to be right now scrambling for grip on the exit.
Kind of gets a very good launch, even though I did not expect it. As sorry, Avi gets a 5-second penalty. We go on the WTF shifting. Faizan goes slightly wide. Oh, baby Sonoda rushing past WTF chicken.
Yeah, he's looking really fast. He has the fresh tires. He has one of the fresh tires in that top 5, and he's going to be blitzing past these folks. The hard runners look really uncomfortable right now.
Definitely. Faizan is backed up by Monk right now on hard, so it seems like maybe Sonoda might just be heading right back into the podium and maybe even have a race win.
Is it me, or do you see like, oh my god, as Faizan sends it on Monk? But do you see some glitching on the tires over there?
Yes, I do actually. Yeah. This is just Codemasters updates fixing the game, but end up breaking more of it, so not much we can do over there. But this is the first time I have seen it, so that's something new.
Very interesting to see Baby Sonoda take the inside probe. It's actually quite slippery over there. So
he seems to have a lot of grip, so I think it's working out for him.
Yep. So Baby Sonoda is now using all his ERS. He's now going to be trying to defend to get the move done on Monk. We know he does not stays out. Oh, I think somebody absolutely smashes into them from behind. I think that was What the Fuck Chicken right behind them, and not What the Fuck Chicken?
Maybe I think he just broke a bit later than expected, and he gets past on. He's trying to fight back, but doesn't have that advantage of fresh soft tires.
Yep.
WTF chickens.
Let's go on with everyone's penalties. We can just hit D.
Definitely.
Yep. Right.
Faizan currently in P3 as we have a yellow flag, and we see a car going backwards. What is happening? Who is it? I don't know. There's some glitching going on.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's really happening right now. But RB has interestingly picked up the pace in the safety car restart, and he's really putting a big gap right now.
Definitely. But Faizan is soon going to come under the attack or Baby Sonoda.
Yeah, he's absolutely flying. Just 3 seconds to the leaders, and I don't think that's really a huge gap. That can
even though gets 3 second time penalty.
Yep.
it's looking even better and better for Baby Sonora as of now.
Yeah, exactly. That's as I said, it's not a big gap. What do you call to? Oh, as you see, glitching on Racing Point.
Seems to be certain parts of the track where the tires just seem to explode. There are various spikes. As he gets by Faizan fairly easily and is already pulled out a second on Faizan.
Yeah, he's nearly 2 seconds a lap faster.
Oh wow. So currently factoring the penalties, he is in net P2, which
Yep.
is an extremely good recovery considering what has happened over here.
Evil
Pirello is still looking strong, holding his own to Evil Dog, but he might just soon come under
Yeah,
pressure.
but he's setting personal best also, so he's definitely pushing right now. Man is in the DRS. I think he's also holding a bit in his reserve to really for the final push.
Definitely, as Baby Sonora blasting his ERS trying to get past Evil Dog, he might just get the move down the back straight.
Yeah, he's gonna be getting the move that I think on the final straight.
Your WTF chicken in a gosh, fighting.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of tricky right now because Chicken needs to think about his captaincy right now because he, at the current moment, he does not have any penalty.
Baby Sonora gets ever so close for Evil Dog. DRS wide open, lost his ERS to the absolute limit and gets past Evil Dog.
Good.
Tad bit wide, but
I think the FIS stewards would want to get a look on that.
maybe it was a warning. I don't know.
Yeah.
But, should be keeping it clean if he wants that race win because RB Ferrello has absolutely no penalties and is about 3 seconds away. Sid Kulkarni puts the fastest lap with the 128.9.
I think he had an incident, and as a result of that, he has now decided to go the fast lap. So at least steering 1 point away from the other drivers.
Definitely. Faizan is getting to the rear of Evil Dog.
Quite fast.
Yellow flag, and there seems to be a horse.
Ooh, it's Akash was for now.
Horse of Akash. His race is not going well. He's had a couple of incidents here and there, but seems like he'll still be finishing in the top 10. Baby Sonoras slightly reducing the gap from 3 seconds to 2.2 this lap, but we're now going to be with the race leader on the final lap of the race with the gap behind dropping to 2 seconds. Will Baby Sonora be able to close the gap? What do you think, Masood?
I think it's pretty much safe right now for Rabi. He doesn't really need to do anything. Kind of a very strange decision from Baby Sonora, I think, to box that late. I think that ultimately cost him that difference. But you never know because the pace advantage he has, and we never know if RB is going to get punched on the last lap. But he just looks safe right now. But I'm going to say one thing. Baby Sonora has gained massively on this lap.
He's just about 9 tenths behind, and we'll be able to see him right here. He seems to be giving his absolute all.
Yeah, but I think he's going to make me swallow my own words right now. But RB does have that overtake right now to have that final buffer. But this could perhaps go to the last lap.
Goes a bit wide. Baby Sonora's just waiting for that one final mistake so he can make the
Yeah, but RB has reserved all his overtake for this final defense, which is really helping him right now.
Definitely, as Baby Sonora has absolutely none.
Yep.
And it seems like
Oh, RB has a bad exit. This could go down to the wire.
he comes around the final corner. RB Ferrello wins the Japanese Grand Prix with Evil Dog in P2, Faizan coming in P3. but drops down because of penalties. And WTF Chicken recovers to the podium position. Who would have thought? Wow.
Oh my god, we have a glitched lobby.
What is happening? I can't even tell right now. Baby Sonoda finishing off in style. Sidful Kani should be coming around the final corner. There
Yeah,
it
I think
is.
I think the final podium is I believe RB Ferrello, Baby Sonoda, and what do you call Baby Sonoda and RB Ferrello and Evil Dog. I think that's the final podium. So let's get
That's
them.
what it should be, but yeah, the leaderboards are messing with us a little bit. We'll find out soon enough. As Arbiter lifts the trophy.
Yeah, it looks like we have a glitched lobby. Yeah, so I think we need to get RB Ferrello, Evil Dog, and Baby Sonoda into the lobby.
Harvey Ferrero, Evil Dog, and Baby Sonoda. Yeah, this seems to be something wrong with Baby Sonoda just dropping down to P8.
Yeah. No, I think a lot of drivers are actually right now not having the correct position.
Yep. Codemasters, thank you once more for another set of glitches that we never thought we have.
No, I think it's not Baby Sonoda. I think he spawned at the last corner. Okay.
Oh, was it him trying to finish off in style that cost him P2? That's extremely interesting.
Yeah, but I think there's been a timing glitch in the lower orders as well.
Definitely, we're gonna have to
Yeah.
have the stewards look at that.
Yeah. Yep, get RB Ferrello, Evil Dog, and Chicken here.
Hello. Thank you. I think the start was crucial to overtake Deepak, and I don't think that others' bad luck actually helped me. Also, at different point of stage in the race, I had to defend so many other drivers. Like at initially it was Deepak, then Cryptid, then Evil Dog, and last I think it was Baby Sunova. Yeah, so it was quite difficult race, but I think he like overshot it, the accelerator. Mhm.
Yeah, take it. I just I have a bit of things going on here right now. Yeah.
Thank you, thank you. By the way, this race was like a redemption from season 4 tier 2. Actually, my quali lap was on my in lap. I was going to in lap, but I was 4 tenths faster on my in lap, so I went for it and couldn't go for the new sets. But GG, Deepak had it very good. The lap.
Yep. Thank you. Yeah, the hearts kind of paid off. Yes, but towards the end, after the last of safety car, RB was too fast. Otherwise, yeah, could have been in that 1.5 seconds. Yeah. Hello. Yeah.
Hello. Acid, I think we are muted on OBS, so if we can correct that.
Am I audible now? I should be, I think. Apologies for that. So yeah, Evilog, you wanna go through it again?
Yeah, that the full thing. Yeah, kind of RB was quite like RB was a bit fast towards the end, and again, as you could see, I was extremely lucky in that last turn where
Definitely. And
Baby ran out of track. I don't know.
and
Yes.
what do you think happened with Baby Sonora? He seemed to have had the pace. He made a good recovery. He got ahead of almost everyone. We even thought he might be taking the race win, but he was just about 4 tenths behind RB Frello, and suddenly the last corner something happened.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Actually, we never thought he might catch up that fast, but yeah, he caught up pretty fast. Man, yes, as he told, like maybe in another, like if he had one more lap, he could have like that gamble of that soft speed would have gotten off.
Definitely.
All
right. Thank you so much. You had an extremely good race, and congratulations once again on the podium.
Yeah. Again.
Now we have with us.
Yeah.
Yep. Now we have with us WTF Chicken.
Hello.
Hi, congratulations on P3. It seems like you had a good start, and then somewhere between you lost that pace, lost that concentration, had a little bit of an incident, and then recovered back to the podium. How does that feel?
I think the podium, let's be honest, was a bit lucky because Sonoda spun on the last corner. So I wasn't really expecting it, but I started on softs. I noticed most people were starting on mediums, but Sonoda was Sonoda and I had contact on the first lap, and we both got a 5-second penalty on my screen. It appeared like he brake checked me, and I had sufficient distance. So after that, the safety car, the first safety car, was pretty lucky. That it was around my pit time anyway, the pit lap, which was lap 10, I think it was. So I switched to mediums, and I caught up to Evil Dog, but then I spun, and that's when I gave up, really. I fell back to position 8, and then the second safety car was lucky, and then kind of caught up with the rest of the pack, and then fortunately got the podium at the end. That's about it.
Definitely. We saw you were on the mediums while the runners ahead were on the hard. So what do you think the pace difference was, or was there much of a advantage to the mediums at that point?
I think the way my setup was, I felt I didn't have much straight line speed, so I couldn't do any overtakes on the DRS straight. But on the first sector, doing through the S's, I could catch up to a lot of people. So I was able to catch them, but I couldn't overtake a lot of people. I decided to stay out with my mediums on the second safety car. So I had a lot of wear. I'm not sure what kind of tire wear other people had on the hards. So I was able to catch them, but I couldn't overtake them. But I did get one overtake. I can't remember who it was. I think it was Faizan. And Sonoda was just blasting past everyone anyway on his softs, I think he was on.
Yep.
So that was nice.
Yeah, and we saw that the second safety car really helped out. And we actually spoke about
yeah.
it then, how that would actually play into your favor because you were on the mediums and you decided to stay out while everyone else, most people
Yeah, I
did.
think about 4 to 5 people decided to go in with only 7 laps remaining. I didn't think, I'm not sure why that was the case because I believe most people would have been either on mediums or hards at that point. So that gave me about 4 to 5 positions, and I was P4, and then I think Sonoda went past me, P5, and then I got Faison. But I had about 40 to 50% tire wear at that point with about 6 laps to go.
Wow.
So it was still a bit tricky, but I think through the corners I was a little bit quicker than the rest of them.
Right, and you held off pretty well against the soft runners behind you as well. So congratulations
Yeah,
with that.
I had to really use my ERS for that.
Congratulations for the podium.
Thank you.
Right, and that should be all for our Tier 2 race of Japan. Hope you guys enjoyed watching.